Colin Fragar here from Council Approval Group. Have you ever been frustrated by a planning law that is holding you back and restricting your project the way you want to have it built? And maybe there's a standard that you just can't get around. Well, here today we're going to talk about what we call a 4.6 variation, which applies in the state of New South Wales, and it allows you to depart from many of these standards in the local planning laws. So this project would not have been possible without a 4.6 variation. It didn't have the minimum lot size to be able to do a dual occupancy. And the difference is probably worth about $400,000. $400,000 by the one little report that a savvy town planner can do at Council Approval Group was the difference of doing this project or not. This is an attached dual occupancy, which means we're retaining the existing dwelling and putting a new one on the side, which allows for it then to be subdivided, and that difference was $400,000. So let's go and have a look at it. We'll go and walk around and I'll share with you a few tips about these 4.6 variations because they are a game changer. In the world of property development and town planning, there is a very hot topic, and that is 4.6 variations. So I'm literally standing in a property right now that would not have been built without this 4.6 variation. The reason is we required a minimum lot size to be able to do this project. It's a dual occupancy subdivision, and we were below the minimum lot size. What does that mean? So the minimum lot size is often prescribed by the LEP, or Local Environmental Plan, and if you don't meet that requirement, basic rule is that you can't get the approval, except for a 4.6 variation. So we have a report which has been developed by my father, Max Fragar, over 50 years in the game. Plus also we've got over a dozen town planners, and we've used this over and over again to depart from standards in these planning laws. So another example might be floor space ratio. It's kind of a techie term, but it basically means how big can the dwelling be on a given allotment size. And you might not just have a big enough allotment to be able to do the project you want to. But with a 4.6 variation, it can mean the difference of getting the project done or not, or be able to have the dream dwelling that you want to on the site or not. A third example is building height. And so sometimes building heights are prescribed, and you're hitting that building height, and you know that if you just go a little bit higher, you'll be able to create a better project, a better livable outcome for the end occupant, and better for the overall streetscape, depending on the design. So all of these are examples of standards which can be departed from using a 4.6 variation. The way I would describe 4.6 variation is to see it as a key that unlocks possibilities, to be able to create projects which are better for the community, better for the end occupant, and also better for you as the owner of the property or developer. So I want to show you around a few more things around here, and while I walk around, I'll share a few more tips about 4.6 variations. Council Approval Group, we specialize in these 4.6 variations, and what it allows us to do is to bring to life a project that would otherwise be prohibited by meeting still the objectives behind the planning legislation. That's what a 4.6 is all about. However, the rules about 4.6 variations are not static. In fact, on the 1st of November 2023, the rules have changed yet again. And so it's really important that you have a very savvy town planner by your side to be able to do these variations, because the probability of success, and it's a high stakes game, and it can mean the difference of hundreds of thousands of dollars, literally weigh on your decision about which consultant you use and whether or not you use this 4.6 variation. So make sure you get the right advice. So as I look around this project, it is just so exciting, and the owner is absolutely ecstatic of what we've been able to achieve here. But it would not have happened if they hadn't have put the right arguments in the 4.6 as to how we can still meet the overall objectives of the lot size, even though that we had a departure of around 10% in this particular case. Where we step in at Council Approval Group in managing development applications for our clients is that we meticulously craft these planning reports, 4.6 variations, and the overall proposal. We make sure that the plans through our architects are looking really good and on point, that everything else is aligned perfectly. Ideally, we try not to depart from too many standards at once. So we try to make sure that most things are compliant, but then we go to town on the arguments as to why we should depart from these minimum lot sizes, or whatever it is, building height or floor space ratio, through the 4.6 variation. We want to make sure that the 4.6 variation that we write for you is very compelling and has some very robust planning arguments within it. We're here to make sure that your development applications are not just seen, but celebrated. Celebrated by their design, celebrated by the community. They're also the value that they create for you as the one that actually has to end up paying for the development. All of these different things we consider when we're putting together a project. So in the world of town planning, it can be a labyrinth of rules and a maze of just infinite things that you feel like you have to get across. We would love to be able to talk to you more. Please book in a time to talk to one of our team. We'd love to be able to have a free consultation with you if you're not already one of our clients. We'd love to be able to partner with you so that we can create the positive outcomes that you want to see with your project and in your life, because the difference with one successful project can be the difference of a successful financial future, or just sitting on the sidelines and watching many other people do these projects and wondering what happened. We would love to be able to help you to build your dream brick by brick and be able to use some of these smart strategies that we have helped other people with. Look forward to talking to you soon. Make sure you book in for a time to talk or join us on one of our upcoming webinars. Thanks, I'm Colin Fragar, and talk to you soon.